Captivation. Very good.
We love it.
You love it.
We love it.
Do you practice those moves all the time?
At least 3 times a week, yeah.
At least 3 times a week.
Yeah,
You're
at least
so
3 times
together
a
with
week.
all the
Thank
dancing
you.
and
Thank
it's
you.
very beautiful, very beautiful. How long have you all been together?
Captivation as a group has been together since 2000. We're offshoot of an older group called the Earls, which was originally formulated back in '64. So actually, we've been singing for a few decades now.
Well, it shows. It's very, very beautiful. And I understand you have a brand new CD coming out. Tell us about that.
We have a CD coming out. Right now it's in the can. The name of the CD is going to, well, tentatively it's going to be called Finally. There's a hidden message in there somewhere. When we started out, it was an album. Now it's a CD.
Very good. And it's going to be released sometime around Thanksgiving.
After Thanksgiving, it's going to make a wonderful stocking stuffer.
A wonderful stocking stuffer. It sounds like a great idea to me. And if you would like booking information about Captivation, you can call Michael C. Robinson at 314-412-3640. Thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate it. Now it's time for Cassandra and Gilberto to introduce our next guest.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Yes, our next guest got her start first as a paid singing at just 18 years old. And 55 years later, she's still going strong.
You know, Cassandra, she's performed at almost every jazz venue in the Midwest and has shared the stage with legends such as Count Basie and Pearl Bailey and Johnny Johnson. Can you believe that?
It's incredible. Please help us give a warm welcome for this St. Louis legend, May Lady Jazz Wheeler.
Yes.
That right, didn't I? 18 years old, you got your first paid gig. Some people wait up 38 years old before they get their first. What was that? What was the gig?
Well, it was Spider Burke had, he was a DJ, okay? And there was a club on Sarah and Finney. It was on Finney, and it was called Spider Burke's Palace Garden. And they used to have a talent show there every Wednesday night.
Wow.
And it was one of the first thing that I ever won as far as a gig was concerned, and ever since then, you know, hey.
Wow, do you remember what you sang?
No, I don't.
You know, that was Gaslight Square right back then, right?
Oh, no.
No.
Gaslight Square didn't come until like the 60s. We're talking about, that was back, in the 49 or 50.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Why do you like song stylist instead of jazz singer?
Well, I think that when you start putting labels on the music has changed so much until you could say that Chaka Khan is a jazz singer, but it's not true. She sings jazz, but she's still an R&B singer. That's what she does most. It's like a gospel singer who can sing jazz, but you wouldn't say that they're a jazz singer. So I would just rather be called a song stylist because I try to do a little bit of all of it, but I have a particular way that I do it.
And a wonderful way that you do it.
Well,
and, of course, we have to talk about your trademark flower, a la Billie Holiday. When did you decide you're going to start wearing your flower in your hair?
Well, I think that was probably about 1979.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just because you wanted to pay tribute to Billie Holiday, or you thought it
Well,
just
I
looked
wanted
good?
to pay tribute to Billie Holiday, and at that time my hair was cut real short, so I wore the big flower to add to it.
And it gets kind of stuck.
Yeah.
I like that.
But, you know, and talking about Billie Holiday and Dinah Washington, your style and everything, how was working with Count Basie?
Well, I tell you what, there was a show that came to town at Club 54 that's on Grand, and they had Count Basie there, and I was the warm-up.
Really?
I did the warm-up for him, and his statement was, he said, "Mama, they told you to warm up. They didn't say burn the house down." I thought that was real cute.
Did you had to have picked up something from his concert. What did you, in meeting Count Basie and doing the warm-up, of course, staying and listening to him, was there anything particular stood out about his performance?
Well, I mean, just how well organized the orchestra was, you know, and how everybody blended together. No one overpowered anyone. It was a unit. And that's what a lot of us don't realize, that music is a marriage, you know, and you have to have respect for one another before you even start playing, because if you don't, then you're going to miss the individuality of each person coming together.
It's so remarkable to know that you just learned the trade by listening to Dinah Washington over and over again. Why did she inspire you so much?
I don't know. I just liked the way she sang. I just liked what she did. First, I guess, I started listening to a lady by, I guess I had to be like 8 or 9, Little Miss Cornshuck. And a lot of people don't know anything about Little Miss Cornshuck, but she was from somewhere up east. And she wore like a wash dress, you know, house dress.
Yes.
And she wore corn shucks in her hair instead of a flower. And she came on stage barefooted. And I remember listening to her CDs, not her CDs.
No, I was going to say, wait a minute.
Her records on an old Victrola. My mom had an old Victrola. And then Bessie Smith and Dinah Washington. Now, I really didn't get into Billie Holiday until the 60s.
Until the
Isn't that
60s?
something?
And that's real weird.
It is, but you know what? It was the time for you to get into it. Now you got to tell us about the Divas 2005 show.
Oh my goodness, that was the show to behold. People who were not there missed a treat. There's this group of 160 women called the River Blenders. And we couldn't get them all in the Sheldon, but we did have 80 of them.
Wow.
And they came from every direction. And people were looking, trying to figure out what's going on.
And they were all divas?
All divas, like the Sweet Adelines.
Yes.
And they were ranked 11th in the world, so they were good. Then there was this little kid who came up to me on intermission, and she came up and she says, Miss Wheeler, my name is Kyra. I said, hi, Kyra, how are you? She said, I'd like to be on your show. So I said, okay, why not December? She said, oh, no, here's my CD, I mean tonight.
Whoa.
I said, now what do I tell this little kid? The show is full, and if I put her on, we're gonna go over, so I put her on.
Did you?
This little girl took the show.
See, she was a little diva, wasn't
Hey,
she?
I don't know if I want her on the show again. She was a little diva and a half.
Amazing, amazing. Well, you know, I really don't want to put you on the spot, but we usually somebody that sings, you know, can you give us like a little, just a little, or do you want to save it
wow,
for the
man.
weekend?
Oh, I would really like to save it for the weekend, but I don't know.
It's up to you. But, you know,
she's
you're
looking
looking
at
at
the
that.
band.
I'm looking at the band.
You're looking at the
What kind
band.
of music we do over here?
Oh, you know, they do rock.
They do rock.
But you
I
know-
do rock.
Oh, you do rock
Hey,
too?
what you talking about?
Wow.
I do rock.
Go ahead
you
now,
know-
May. I'm sitting back. Go ahead, take care
I
of
do
it.
rock.
Take it over. You know
Yeah.
what? Why don't we do this then? Why don't we tell us a little bit about Jazz at the Bistro
Okay.
on the weekend and what you're doing over there?
This coming weekend, I'm doing, I guess you would call my first solo concert.
Yes.
I'm not the kind of singer that really sits before, and I don't like to sit before an audience and people watch me.
Oh.
I just kind of like to sing. I like to be the background music. I'm not a concert singer. I don't like everybody looking at me, okay?
And then it's going to be October 28th through the 29th, correct?
28th.
And
through-
29th.
Right, and that's this coming Friday and Saturday.
8:30 to 10:15 p.m. You can call 314-534-1111 for tickets and information.
Right.
Wow.
And it's going to be solo.
And I'm doing a tribute to one of my favorite singers, Shirley Horn, who died this past Friday.
Yes.
We cannot wait to hear it.
Yeah.
Everyone, make sure that you come out and pay tribute to May Wheeler. Thank you so much
you.
for coming
And
out.
I am going to listen to you over there. That'd be beautiful.
Now, even though the band did not kick in from Miss May Wheeler, we are still waiting to hear from them right now. So sit back and relax and listen to Why Down.
Wow.
Take me into solitude, won't let it show. The rainbow dawn's cruel smile. Unleash flames and backs alternate, take control and drag you for a represent. And represent.
Wow! That was great! And represent. All right, Ethan. So nice to meet you, Ethan. Whiteout. Now listen, I understand that Whiteout, your band, is named after a street in St. Louis. Is that true?
That is true.
Why'd you pick that street?
Two of us went to WashU, and it's a street that runs actually right by WashU into Forest Park.
Now, did you study music at WashU?
I was a music minor at WashU, but the rest of the band studied casually, I guess.
Okay, so you can go to WashU and still play in the band. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
That's true. That's true.
So tell me about Whiteout. Where do you like to play, and what type of, obviously you like rock, but what do you like to play, and what type of fans do you think you have?
Well, I would say that our music is intelligent but really upbeat rock and roll music, and we like to play at a few places. We like playing at Off-Broadway downtown is a nice place. We like playing in the city. There's kind of a nice vibe down there, I think, and pretty much anywhere that'll take us, I guess we'll play. So.
Now, did you write this last song we just heard, and represent, and what does it mean?
We pretty much play all originals. This song is called Noise of America, and it's pretty much just a song about the people. I think a lot of times what happens is politicians and business owners and all that kind of stuff try to speak for us, and this song is about getting to like the heart and really the soul of American people.
That sounds great. Well, you know what? I don't listen to rock too much, but I really did like that, so I think I'm going to have to start listening to it more, especially Whiteout. Now, if I want to get more information, of course, we can contact Nate, right?
Yes.
At 314-504-0505, or go to whitedown.com. Is that good, Ethan?
That's correct.
All right. Well, you heard it here first from the best of the STL. So, Ethan, thanks again for coming on. Now we got to check in. I think we're going to find Jacqueline somewhere around some food, so that's probably in the kitchen.
You better believe it. I'm here with Chef Tom Balk from 609 Restaurant. And Tom, would you mind to help me do another giveaway? We've got so many things to give away on Best of the STL. If you would just reach into our giveaway basket, a member of the audience is going to win tickets to Celtic Tiger starring Michael Flatley at the Savvis Center on November 3rd. Ron Dunnigan? Ron Dunnigan! All right. Congratulations, Ron. We'll have a good time with that. Now, Chef Tom, you are making kabocha squash soup, correct?
Correct, yeah.
All right. Now, tell us about how you're making it.
Okay, basically, this is a kabocha squash. It's actually a Japanese eggplant.
Okay.
At 609, we deal with a lot of fusion, which is the mixing of different
All right.
cultures and stuff. So it's a Japanese-style squash served with American-style soup.
Okay,
So-
fantastic. So you're going to cut that
Cut it in
all
half. I'll
up.
show you the color of the squash, which is
Okay,
actually...
'cause the soup is really bright yellow. Ooh, wow.
It's actually really bright. And what you would do first is scrape this out, put it in a pan with a little bit of water, cover it in foil, and put it in about a 350-degree oven for about 45 minutes. And then it gets real tender. Then you go ahead and make the soup. Basically, the soup is onions and celery. You start out with some butter, and you cook it till it's brown. You almost get a nutty flavor from the butter. From there, you saute your onions and celery. Then add your pre-roasted squash in there. Homemade chicken stock, I can't stress that enough. It's easy, you could just make it in a big batch, freeze it, and thaw it at any time. It really makes the difference between, good and bad. Even if you buy the Campbell's stuff, it's not.
All right.
And then you just simmer that for about 20 minutes and puree it. And,
All right.
That's it.
I'm excited. Sounds like it's going to be good. Of course, later we'll have the recipe for everyone at home so they can try to do it as well as you do.
It's very
As well as you
simple.
do. All right, well, I'm looking forward to it because I'm not a great cook, but I love to learn how, so that's great. But right now, I'm pretty sure Gilberto's over in the den and he's got something for us. Gilberto?
Yes, Jacqueline, thank you very much. And don't worry, I'm going to be in the kitchen pretty soon trying that soup. I'm telling you, but right now I'm here with Scott Jadden, and he's an artist, and he's presenting a study of St. Louis graffiti. Tell me
Yes,
about
that's
that.
right. Yeah. Well, I think, I was taking the metro somewhere and I saw this really great graffiti like along the rail lines, and I was really inspired by its bright colors and really, though, by its social commentary. So I prepared a photography exhibit at Gallery Visio, located at UMSL's North Campus.
And when is the, and we can see some samples of the graffiti art right now. Wow. Those are just, you didn't contact the artist or anything. It's just things that you found on the street.
Oh, right. They're absolutely just found. I mean, sometimes the artists are known, but for the most part, it's random. So it was just things that I found and things that I found just inspiring.
Inspiring. Well, I didn't know that St. Louis had so much graffiti.
Well, it does, and it's really great. It's really vibrant, and I want to bring it to the viewer. And so I hope that everybody enjoys these digital paintings, is what I call them. And
They're going to be at Visual Expression, Galleria Visio, and at UMSL, the Millennium Center. And if you need more information, right, you're going to contact 314-516-7922, and that's Pat Johnson, right? So we're going to have to go over there and see all this graffiti.
that's right. You're going to have to come on over.
Great. Listen, do you like military movies?
Oh, yeah, I love them.
Well, guess what? I have a treat for you today and for everybody, because right now, let's check out Jarhead. Yeah.
We have a very special treat. Private Swafford here is going to play Reveille for us. Okay, Swafford, play Reveille.
Oh, I have a bugle. You better play with your mouth. See that kid? The one dreaming of serving his country? That jarhead is me.
Do you have what it takes to be the meanest, the baddest in God's cruel kingdom? Yes, yes, Sergeant!
Them paintball bullets, they hurt?
Not in their heads, Staff Sergeant. You know the rules. My mistake, sir.
We are now part of Operation Desert Shield. Saddam Hussein's got 1 million Iraqi soldiers. They are tough. They will stop at nothing.
If you're not too busy, gas, move it. Didn't I tell you not to get lazy? Let's go. Put it on. Get it on. That is your sleeping bag, you moron.
Come over to the dark side.
Yeah.
I hear they shipped in 100,000 body bags.
Hey, those things come in sizes?
No differences, man. Come on.
Yeah, I just want a good fit, bro.
We at war.
I love it out here because I count for something.
We at war with
America has given freedom to me.
racism.
I miss my parents.
I hear their bombs and I'm afraid.
God, show me the way because the devil's trying to break me down. I walk through the valley of the shadow where death is. Top floor, if you alone, I leave you breathless.
Welcome to the suck.
God, show me the way because the devil's trying to break me down. The only thing that I pray is that my feet don't fail me now. Yeah.
I love this job. I thank God for every day that He gives me in the Corps. Hoorah.
God, show me the way because the devil's trying to.
Our next guest was featured on one of TV's newest reality shows, So You Think You Can Dance.
He's a self-taught breakdancer and choreographer, and he's also the hip-hop instructor for COCA, Center of Creative Arts.
He's performed with De La Soul, Black Eyed Peas, Wycliffe, and Nelly, just to name a few. Let's welcome with COCA, Nicholas Gates. So you think you can dance? Hey, that's a good question. You know, I want to know, are people pretty much born with rhythm, or can you teach rhythm? I'm asking for Jackie. I was born, she wasn't. Just one.
You were born.
Easy on the white girl.
Well, you know what? I think like there's just different people, you know, obtain like different talents, different gifts. The kids that come through COCA in my program, I mean, I'm dealing with a variety, truly. Kids that have never taken like dance before, and hip hop is being like their first, my class, and they're just blazing. They're just, you know, they're incredible, you know, and it's like, wow, you know, and these kids are white, these kids are Asian, these kids are Indian, these kids are black, you know, I don't just get one color, I get all shades of the rainbow like in my class, and I have different skill levels. It's just crazy, you know, it's a real eye-opener. Just simply because hip hop dance, at least what I'm teaching, is fairly new for St. Louis as far as, you know, studio goes. So it's great. You know, people are just eating it up. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How old are the people in your class? Do you have to be a kid?
You know what? No, you don't have to be a kid. You don't have to be a kid, but you get anywhere from 7 to 47. You know, in my class. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and everything in between. So it's nice variety.
So over 47, can you go too?
Of course, of course. You know, like a couple semesters ago, I had like, I believe my oldest was like a 62-year-old.
Really?
62-year-old.
Did he break dance?
No, it was a she. It was a 62-year-old Asian woman, Asian
Really?
female. Yeah, she was good.
Because dance is good
She was
exercise.
good. She was good.
That
So
is wow.
yeah.
Now, Nicholas, you have to tell us, did you always know you wanted to be a dance instructor, or somehow in dance, or did it kind of come when you got older?
You know what? That's a good question. Like, I think like as a kid, I've always danced. I've always danced when I was a kid. I mean, just point blank.
When those kids' music is on. You're
Right. I always, you know, I'm looking at videos like Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson. You know, Michael Jackson's always, I don't care what anybody say about Michael. You know, like Michael Jackson is pretty much every dancer's inspiration. I mean, seriously, hands down. Like, you got to give it up to Michael, man. Get up to Michael. You know what I'm saying? So, right. You know, so it's like, you know, Michael Jackson classic 8th grade, you know, talent show, you're doing that, you know. On up, you're doing old routines, you know, new routines that you see on TV, just straight through. But I really started getting serious about breakdance in the high school, out of high school. I've been breaking for like the past 7 to 8 years. Wow. My father is Jim Gates, actually, old radio personality in St. Louis, you know. He really brought music into the household. You know, he really brought music to the forefront with all of us. So to know the history behind like hip hop culture, it was a must. You know, all my brothers and sisters, you know, were really musically oriented. I mean, family. You know, it was great. You know, so you know, older brother Needles, and you know, he's doing this thing in St. Louis. So you know, it's good. So we just really try to bring the essence of hip hop culture to the kids. You know, the way we feel it should be brought. You know, so
sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Tell us about your experience on So You Think You Can Dance.
My experience was great. I mean, I really don't have any complaints, any regrets. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change a thing. You know, simply. Yes. You know, it was a blessing to have. I got the call by my older sister Jasmine. Yo, Nick. You know, there's this show. It's called So You Think You Can Dance, and there's auditions in Chicago, and you got to go out. You know, you can't pass this up. So I'm like, man, I'm getting out of my dance class. Like, all right, sis, all right, calm down. You know, I mean, so I filled up, you know, my tank with gas and just headed on out to Chicago. Did my thing, not knowing really what I was in for, you know, but we ended up being out there for about 2 days, 8 a.m. to 12 midnight, just waiting, being brought in by groups of 20, you know, showing us stuff, and made the cut to LA, you know, and just did it real big.
The rest is history. Now, Nicholas, I have to ask you now, I'm going to need you to show us a little bit of what you do so that people watching can say, hey, I want to go learn that, because I tried to give Jack and Little and get it right back, but she was off. So I'm going to give you a little. I'm not real good at this, but I know I can just wrap it up there. All right now.
We gotta get you up in coca, man. That's
I need the help. What can we expect when we come out there? Show me a little bit.
Yeah, I need a little chair right here. I got a little something for y'all.
Okay.
A little something. So.
Sometime I feel like doing a beat, sometime I don't. Sometimes I feel like moving my feet. Sometimes I won't. What? Sometimes I feel like doing a beat. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes we make you move your feet. Sometimes we don't. Misdemeanor.
I'm coming round the corner. You think you tough, then let me see what you wanna. Cause on the mic I get it hot like Daytona, don't I? I get the party jumping from 5 in the morning. You wanna bumble with the beat and let me see you call her. You wanna be a big baller, big spender, haul it. I got the feeling that you're trying to impress me. 1, 2, 1, 3, hit you with the heat.
I'm definitely not coming to your class.
Just a little ride. Oh, that's wonderful.
Thank you.
So a little bit of everything's in the class. You know, break dancing, top locking moves, and all of that.
Breaking, I would say, popping, locking, top rock, up rock, 6-step. All these things I learned in my class. And oh man, that's just great.
It's great.
This is great.
I know.
This is great.
We've got some B-roll in the class going right
Absolutely,
now.
there's some B-roll going there now. Now, what kind of dance moves are you showing them here? What we're seeing on the television screen?
That right there is a choreographed piece I put together for Imagine Weekend, which takes place November 4th at Coca. Barishnikov is coming in, doing the ribbon cutting. It's all about the new facility at Coca. Grand opening, awesome. So all of the, pretty much all of the programs are performing that night, Friday night, red carpet, big deal.
Thank
really
you
good.
so much, Nick. It's big deal, November 4th.
Thank you.
November 4th, 5th, and 6th. It's going to be great at Magic Weekend. Make sure you get in touch with Coca for more information. That sounds wonderful. And he got down on it right here on the STL. And you know what? That's why you can expect surprises and entertainment like our Nicolas Cage from Coca. So, you know, we got to find out what's going around the STL because you always want to be involved. Now, I understand that Erin Bodie's coming to town on the Best of the STL. She'll be here, and she'll be performing at Jazz at the Bistro. So, hopefully, we'll get more information about her. You'll tune in, and we'll find out what's going on with Erin Bodie and all the other events that are going on at the Best of the STL. But first, we got to give away a pair of tickets to see Kim Macy at the finale on November 5th at 9:30 p.m. to an audience member. Jacqueline, please, you've been doing so well at this, Jacqueline.
Oh, I'm just full of giveaways tonight, all right?
Yes, you are.
Let's see, Chad Johnson. Chad Johnson, congratulations, Chad.
Yay, Chad!
Pick those up after the show.
Yes, we'll get that to you, Chad, after the show. But it's kind of feeling warm in here, which tells me that I'm not just hot from watching Nicholas get down on. I'm looking at Gilberto in the kitchen.
Hey, I tell you what, Cassandra, I'm really happy because right now I'm with my friend Patricia from 609, and she's a sommelier.
Sommelier, that's right, Gilberto.
There you go, and tell me a little bit about, because you have some wines you like to talk about that go with this wonderful food that we're cooking tonight.
Well, one of the things with 609, they have a seasonal fusion menu.
Yes.
And it's always very interesting to try to match wines with a menu like that. So one of the things that you have to do is you have to look at the wines and the food and how they're going to marry together so that the customer enjoys it.
Wow, so tell me about these two wines.
Okay, the first wine
Right
that
quick.
I have is from Oregon. It's the